What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have for you some knives that I consider to be iconic and or will be iconic in the days to come. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I'd love to have you. Hit that thumbs up button. It really helps push the videos out there so more people have a chance to check them out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you're carrying. So, just remember, these are my opinions and my opinions only, and I am not saying these are the only iconic knives, just that these are some. Now, we have the Microtech Stitch here. I think this is, in fact, a icon, a legend. Not only the knife, the aesthetic, but the name as well. You kind of have the full package here. This one's sporting a two-tone finished M390 MK harpoon drop point style blade. Full finger choil here, fluted aluminum handles, both sides. We have a titanium geared backspacer here. Deep carry, reversible pocket clip. It is going to be lower mounted with the lanyard hole positioned above there, integrated into the backspacer there. And then we have the ram lock, which is a coil spring, and it's going to be a lot more rigid, a lot tougher than what you normally see, which is a crossbar lock with these style of tabs. You are going to maintain the ease of use and disengagement, but you're going to get a lot better lock. USA made, and they are reasonable priced. Definitely an icon. Now, next up, it's been a little bit since I have put this feller in a video, so I figured it deserves to be in a video once in a while. The USA made Andrew Demko 8020. Fully USA made, a massive chunk of 3V, stone washed, clip point style of blade, nice big cutout for deployment, diamond textured titanium handles, massive slabs. Then we have a Lynch Northwest deep carry titanium pocket clip. This is one of my grail knives, one of my favorite knives of all time. Possibly my favorite knife of all time in this exact configuration. It's massive. It's comfortable. It'll do anything you need. Andrew Demko, in my opinion, is one. He deserves to sit at the table for godfather of folding knife designs. Created numerous locks for folders that are just overbuilt and able to actually be called a lock. Just an impressive designer of locking systems and folding knives. Love Andrew Demko and what he's done for the knife world. So next up, we have one that I am anticipating being an icon someday. And the reason is because the Real Steel evolution here is a button lock, but it is a button actuated frame lock. And a lot of people that have been around are starting to get antsy, achy, and or they're stopping appreciating or liking exposed lock bars because it's the same old thing kind of a deal. But now I think this is going to reinvigorate exposed frame locks and how people are looking at doing a button lock. We have the compression lock out now as well with the button actuation, other than the smock at least. But I think this is, might not be quite as strong as the compression lock, but a well done titanium frame lock with proper lockup, lock face geometry, everything being the way it should be. You have a very tough knife, a fun knife. You can disengage it with the button or the frame itself. This one's sporting a stone-washed S35 VN Tanto blade. They make a drop point. They also have one with a carbon fiber show side. This one is titanium with texturing. We have oversized thumb studs, some nice jimping there before the harpoon ramp. We have a two-piece full-length titanium backspacer there and a titanium pocket clip. love the evolution, and I think the name fits it perfectly. I think this will be a trendsetter for sure. There's a few knives I believe that are in transition to becoming icons. We're kind of going through the period as they become icons, and I think this is a knife that deserves to be in the icon status and is cementing its way there. The American Blade Works Model 1, very, very small batch, just a man and woman, husband and wife, running the entire show, doing everything. Small batch, USA made, magnet cut done at what, 64 to 65 or 65 to 66, one of those two. This one is the Wharncliffe. There's a drop point. This is flipper only. There is one with thumb studs, and there might even be one with studs and a flipper. Drop point, Wharncliffe versions. This one is the textured titanium with a carbon fiber inlay. Beautiful machining and finishing work. Titanium milled clip, titanium geared backspacer. It is going to be reversible. Great size. Awesome USA made knife. One of the best values, if not the best value in the entire knife industry. American Blade Works and the Model 1 series. Another one here similar to the Real Steel Evolution. I think in the future we'll look back at the Evolution as a button actuated frame lock. I think we'll look back on the Vosteed Kilo here for the pivot style lock. Now, no, they weren't the very first ones with the pivot lock out, but I think they were, the first production company to put out a really solid pivot lock design. This one is a sheep's foot style blade with a coated finish. This one's coming in LMAX. They also do another steel as well. Aluminum textured handles, all kinds of different patterns you can get as far as colorway. We have a lower mounted deep carry recessed pocket clip, and the new versions, it will be reversible. This is a prototype, so don't have the reversible clip, and the full production runs will maybe have a few slight differences, but they will basically be identical. But I think we'll look back, and the pivot lock and the button frame lock, we're going to see a ton of them in the future, and these were the start to that. So this one I had to kind of ponder on. It's one I gravitated to put in this video. This is the Monterey Bay Knives Old Guard, and I just feel like this is an iconic knife. And maybe it's just an iconic knife in my collection, in my knife journey. It taught me a lot. I started to learn more about steels after getting this knife. This is in ZDP 189, San Mai ZDP 189, done at like 67 to 68 on the Rockwell. Just a crazy steel. I don't even want to get into the weeds with this and try to explain it, but it would definitely be worth looking up if you don't know about San Mai ZDP 189. And it's a great steel. This is the Wharncliffe style blade, modified Wharncliffe style blade, satin finish. We have contoured titanium handles here that have a nice blasted stonewash finish to them, titanium backspacer, and a milled tie clip. Great access to the liner, and not only do you get the ZDP 189, but you get to experience a knife that is on washers that is really, really well done. Great detent, great opening action, nice solid opening action. And then the closing action is your typical good washer action. So you can swing it down about 50% and then a light shake or two at the most. But this one is still being broken in. I actually flipped the washers around and tightened this up and glued the pivot, and you can see it didn't even do this even remotely close to what it's doing now. But it just goes to show, you use them, open and close them, let them break in, and they will get extremely, extremely smooth if it's a good washer style knife, but there are good ones out there, and I believe a good one is worth trying out for a little while and see if you like them, because they can be very smooth and very fidgety. So like the American Blade Works Model 1, I think this is another knife that we're sitting through the period at which this knife becomes iconic, because this knife has sold out. Now, these are large production runs. We're not talking boutique company, small batch, small runs. We're talking a fairly large production company that's putting out fairly large runs with different versions and selling out several times. People still raving and wanting this knife. People all over the place have several of them. They're making a crossbar locking version now of this knife as well. Same knife, just with a crossbar lock. This one has Van X textured diamond titanium handles, milled tie clip, geared tie backspacer, crazy drop point, modified drop point blade with a stonewash finish. There's DLC, satin, stonewash, all kinds. And then we have a Damascus pivot collar on both sides. There's left-hand versions. Comfortable, slicey, pokey. Love this knife, and so do a lot of other people. It's probably one of the most hyped knives over the last year, and continues to be that same hyped knife when it first came out. And these are going to sell a lot more in the future. And yes, I do think this knife deserves a seat at the icon table. This will go down as the gravity knife that reignited the love for gravity style knives. In my opinion, this is the best production gravity knife that you can get. This exact version, this size, everything. This is the full size Reate EXO. It's coming in LMAX, which I prefer over the other steels that it has come out in. I have one in 3V as well, which is good. This is the Tanto. There's a spear point, dagger style. There's drop point. They're going to do Warncliffs and stuff in the future, I'm sure. Has the locking mechanism, has the pocket clip, which the older versions do not. Any of the new ones are going to come with the lock and clip. I don't even know if they're selling the version 1s anymore without the lock or clip, but you can, or used to be able to get those as well. All titanium, inserts, switch, pocket clip, everything. And because this is closed off on the spine and face, it is extremely comfortable. It's a great size. You can move all up and down this handle, and it keeps a crazy slim profile in the pocket. Either which way, I'm a huge fan of this knife for a EDC day-to-day knife, and I just think it deserves a seat at the table. I think if you don't look at this knife, if you've been around a while, or even if you're new, if you don't look at this knife and see it in action and think, damn, that's a pretty iconic looking knife, I don't know what to tell you. But even if I knew nothing about this knife, I would think, damn, if that's really well made, which it is, that is badass. And the Reate EXO is badass and then some. You guys will have to let me know, what do you think of the list here, and what knives do you think that are your favorites could be an icon, or knives that will be an icon in the future? Knives we'll look back on and say, that's an icon right there. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate that, everyone. If you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. That way you can be notified anytime I release a new video. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching and being here. I will catch you on the next one.